Okay. Okay, so now use case is like it's going to be a pictorial representation or graphical representation. Okay, so imagine we have yeah. Oh, okay, one second. I'll share it now. Are you able to see it now? Okay, okay. So if you see, we'll be in what to say in your college days and all, you would have written use cases, right? I'll show you an example. Okay, use case sample. So you'll be having something like this, right? Do you remember like how we write a use case? So it is like we'll be having who are all the main users and what actions they are going to perform on the system. So this is going to be your use case. Okay. It is about mainly about the action and responses. It is a graphical demonstration. It is completely user oriented, so based it is from user perspective, what the actions a user can perform and what they'll be seeing on the system if they perform that action. It's going to be about that. I think someone is not on mute. Check. Okay, fine. Okay, so it is user oriented. It is that perspective. See, in that laboratory requirement, who are the users? The patient, the lab technician, and the admin. They are going to be the users, right? And what are the actions they are going to perform? They are going to like admin can create a lab technician. He can edit a lab technician, and patient can view his report. So these are going to be the actions, right? So the use case is completely going to be only dependent on these values. Okay, it is not going to be on. See, if admin gives inputs a wrong value, or if for creating a user I'm giving a set of values, right? It is not about that. So that's why I have put like it's not system oriented. It is not about what input I'm going to give and what output I will expect. Nothing about that. Okay, it is completely about what type of action each user will be performing on the system. Okay, are you clear, Pratibha? What is system or not system oriented? No, 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 no. See, wait, in this example, where is that? So here you have bank customer, maintenance person, and bank, right? So he is going to withdraw cash, he is going to transfer fund, he is going to deposit fund, refill machine, right? But here I am not going to give how much amount I am going to withdraw, and is the bank going to withdraw that amount? Okay, for transferring fund, I am not going to mention how much amount, and deposit fund also I'm not going to mention how much I'm going to deposit. So it is not about the input and output. It is about what type of actions they are performing. Just the yeah. Okay, fine. Any questions from anyone else? Okay, who writes it is development team will be writing it, and development phase is also dependent on use case. We are not completely dependent. Okay, we can use it if required. See, I'm having a story for this. Okay, I'm having a story that a bank customer should withdraw a cash. So we can just have a look at it and we can say that okay, this is how the flow goes. This is a very simple example. Okay, so that is the from user perspective, sorry, from testing perspective, that is much our use. Okay, not much. Okay, any questions here? Okay, fine. Now what are the elements of the use case? Elements means these things, right? These are going to be your elements of your use case. So what are the elements? We'll see one by one. One is going to be your description. You'll be have obviously having a description section where you will say what this use case is about, and one is going to be your act, sorry. your actor. So this person, right, these are going to be your actors. Okay. And the other one is going to be a precondition, that will be like your what to say, what is required to start to create this use case. And scenarios, what scenarios, these are going to be your actions or scenarios. Okay. And one more is your post condition, what you will be getting out of it, not exactly like what will happen, what is the result of it. So that is going to be your elements of your use case. Okay. Any doubts? Yeah. Precondition is like, see, uh, to check the volume of a television. That is going to be your use case. Okay. So your precondition is going to be your television should be switched on, right? Only if it is switched on, I'll be able to check the volume, right? So that is going to be a precondition. Post condition is the value, sorry, the what to say, the volume is working fine or something like that is going to be a post condition. Okay. Any doubts or questions from anyone? Sir? Yeah, scenario is actions. What action? Increasing your volume is going to be your action or scenario. You can say, you can call it as action or scenario also. Okay. One second. Okay, fine now. Any more questions? Okay. So now next we'll go to what is a test scenario. Okay. So these are important for us. We are going to handle these in our the test scenario and test case. We are going to these are going to be part of our what to say, artifact or documents, and we are going to create them. Okay. So please be clear on what is a test scenario and what is a test case, because this is going to be your interview question, one of your interview question. They'll ask you, can you tell the difference between test scenario and test case? Okay. So test scenario is nothing but like, you have a requirement, you will be writing down in sentences, okay, normal sentences, how the functionality can be tested. Okay. Or a list of functionalities that can be tested. That 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 is called as test scenario. Okay. What you'll do is, you'll go through the requirement, you will feel that okay, these many scenarios can be tested, and you will just write a small list of all those things. That is called as test scenario. Okay. So it defines the functionalities that can be tested, ensures the test coverage, and who approves it is approved by business analysts, developers, etc. So once you write the test scenarios, you can cross check it with the business analyst or developers, asking them, see, these are going to be the scenarios, is it fine? So do you people remember acceptance criteria which I took in agile? So that is somewhat kind of test scenarios also. Okay. Based on that, we can write our test scenarios, and it is going to be a high level of what to say, a document. So it is going to define how the feature is going to work. Okay. So that is called as test scenario. Any doubts here? Imagine you have a Swiggy application. Okay. So in that Swiggy application, your final result is your food should be added to the cart. This is going to be a small requirement. Just leave about the payment and all. You should food should be added to the cart. So how you will write the test scenario? A user should be a registered one, and he should be able to log in. And he should be able to search for the restaurant and select a food, and he should click on add card. No, clicking on a null, not, no, should not be coming in a test scenario. User should be able to add his food to the cart. Okay. So writing in this way is going to be your test scenario. So there are few steps for writing a test scenario. How it is, you should read your requirement, So you should always predict. Okay, predict in the sense you should think about all the different combinations of scenarios, how the user will work on the application. Okay, and based on that, you have to determine your scenarios. And what the traceability matrix, again you remember, right? So this test scenario and all will fall under your requirement analysis section. Okay, so of sorry, requirement analysis phase of your STLC. So there you will create a list of requirements. Do you remember for what to say that what is that for as your exit criteria? Do you remember for the requirement traceability matrix? So that will be created here, and then you will review the list with the business analyst or developers to assure that yeah, these many scenarios are enough. Any more questions? Yeah. No, no, don't confuse anything. See, now if I give you a if I give you an example like Pratibha, can you write a test case for a handbag? Okay, in that time, what you have to think of all the scenarios. Okay, you should be able to open the handbag. You should be able to have the things, and so you'll be writing a list of those things, right? So that is going to be your test scenario. Okay, but the story and acceptance criteria will be created already by your business analyst. Okay, so nowadays and all, as we have business story and sorry, we have acceptance criteria, we are not writing test scenarios, because based on that acceptance criteria itself we'll start writing our test cases. But in earlier stages, when we didn't have this acceptance criteria concept and all, what we used to do is we'll list down these scenarios manually, okay, from the story, and we'll start writing our test case. Any more doubts from anyone? Yes, exactly. Yeah, you'll be always looking into what is a test scenario, what is a test case, and how you'll be writing a test case and all. Yeah, you'll be already having it in your what to say, requirement from your business analyst. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, sorry. Oh, yeah. No, you will not be writing. That's what I said. In that, when while explaining Agile itself, I told you who will be writing, right? We have different roles, right? We have product owner, business analyst. So these people will be into creating your stories, epic stories, and also your acceptance criteria. All you have to do is from your acceptance criteria, even you can split them again into test scenarios if required. If imagine if in few stories few people they will not follow the acceptance criteria process. Okay, so if you go in a company in that way and you have only your user story, so based on the story you should try writing your test scenarios. Okay, so that's the reason I am like telling you people, and it is also an interview question for you. Okay. Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, no, different. I will tell you. Next we are going to see what is a test scenario. Sorry, test case. Okay. So I will take an example. I already had an example for those people. One second. This is going to be your exercise for today. Okay. Okay. I'll create a new one. So now I'll explain what is a. I'll show you how to write a test scenario. Okay. We will. Okay. Your story is going to be User should be able to um, change the or wait, able to increase or decrease volume, brightness, and contrast for a TV. Okay, sorry, TV. This is going to be your story. Okay, so from this, what are all scenarios you can write? So one is going to be user should be able to increase volume, right? So these are going to be your test scenarios. Imagine you don't have a acceptance criteria. Okay, so your user should be able to increase the volume. This is going to be your first one. In the same way, decrease the volume, should be able to increase brightness. I think the spelling is wrong. So decrease, same way, increase his contrast. Okay, got it. So these are going to be your test scenarios. Okay, this is how the what to say your acceptance criteria will actually be. But here it will be like this. If you want to write your test scenarios, you can write it in this way. And for each scenario, you have to write a test case. Okay, so you're going to again split this scenario into how you are going to achieve this scenario. That will be covered in your test case. Okay, so so in test case, you'll be having a detailed explanation of each scenario. For each scenario, you'll be having a detailed explanation. Okay. So how we'll be having it is, we'll in scenario you didn't have precondition, you didn't have input, you didn't have action, and you didn't have a expected result, right? But here you'll be having set of preconditions, you'll be set of having inputs, actions, and also expected result in your test case, and it will be like step by step instruction on how to perform the action. Here we'll be just having user should be able to increase the volume, but how he is going to increase the volume, that step will be in your test case. Okay, so it will be providing a good coverage of your scenario. As we are going to have multiple steps on how to achieve that action, we'll be having a good coverage of the scenario, and it ensures the coverage in spite of the test engineer. See, like now I have created a test case. Okay, now I am going out of the like I am resigning and going. Okay, so now Pratibha comes to my position. Now what happens is, even when she comes as a new resource, as a junior resource also, when she takes up my test case, she should be able to understand the test case and perform that action without any question in her mind. That's what, whoever the test engineer is, maybe a junior or senior or a associate, whoever he is, he should be able to perform the action in spite of the what is it, test engineer. Okay, identify features, perform as per requirement. So as per requirement, if each feature is working, that will also be what to say covered over here, and it is reusable and easily maintained. Suppose I have a update here in my story. Okay, here how to update, increase volume using remote. Okay, so here I should be able to update. Here I can update my test case accordingly. So it is like that, it is very easy to maintain, as we have a very detailed and broken up steps for achieving our task. Okay, so any questions on what a test case is? Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we will prepare because sometimes we'll be having some features missing or the acceptance, and we can get it clarified. Most of the time, 95% it's not required. Based on the acceptance criteria, we can write our test cases. Test case is a mandatory one. Test scenario depends on the project. Yes, yes, exactly. So for you to understand, I will pick up a different one, okay, because we can have a clear what input we can give and all. So we can have user should be able to log in to Gmail and send an email. Okay, this is going to be your story. Okay, now your use what to say scenarios are going to be first initially user should be able to log in to Gmail. Okay, and next it will be user can send an email. Later, send email should be available on the sent items. Okay, so now you understand what a test scenario or acceptance criteria is. Fine, right? Okay. So now our test case, right? It is going to be in a what to say? We will be usually writing it on Excel. So suppose we use few tools and all. So there also we can write it in Excel and import it into the tool, or on the tool itself we'll be having an option to write the test case. But the contents and how we write is going to be the same if we are going to use a tool or Excel. Okay, so the test case contents are going to be first you'll be having your project name, and from the project what module you're going to write this test case, you're going to have it here. And then you'll be having your requirement ID. Okay, which requirement you're covering here, and who's going to be the author, and who's going to be the reviewer of your test case. Usually you should have a reviewer. Okay, a reviewer should always be there. Okay, and then date of creation, review and execution. So these are going to be different columns, and we'll be having these, and we'll be having a test case side. I'll mark these are very mandatory. Okay, few things will not be having what to say, this project name and all in a tool sometimes will not be having because it will be already mapped. Okay, so date of creation and review and execution is important. Test case ID we should have. And here if it is going to be a tool, right, test case ID will be auto generated, so you need not add it. Okay, and will test case description is important. Precondition is important if it is required. Okay, steps is very important. Test data is also very important, and expected result is important. What actual result we have, that is important. Status is important, and bug number is important. Okay, so these are the fields of your test case. Okay, now see, wait, I'll show you a test case format. Test case sample or format. Okay, so if you see here, the project name, okay, we are going to have a project name here. In the project name, we have a module name. Okay, module name here. I have an example here. You people are going to write test. You're going to write use case, test case, and sorry, use case and test scenario for that. Okay, module name is going to be this, and requirement ID will have, author will have, reviewer will have, creation date will have, review date will have, execution date will have. Okay, so the test case ID is nothing but, see, it will be in this way. For each test case we'll be creating a test case ID. Test case 1, test case 2. See this description, right, is going to this should match your test scenario. Okay, so verify that the okay, here your test scenario, where is that? Yeah, I created somewhere. Ah. So verify that user is able to log into the Gmail. So that is going to come as a description for you for your test case. Okay. And precondition you will be having. The precondition is for this steps to execute. What precondition you should be having? That is going to be your inside your precondition section. Okay. Then steps. How you are going to perform that action. And test data. Test data is for each step what data I'm going to input and test. Okay, so expected result. Now be clear on what is an expected and actual. Okay, expected result is what is actually given on a requirement. Okay, so if I perform this step, what should be my expected result? Actual result is this. You will write these three, you will write only during your testing. Okay, during your testing. Actual is what happened on the application actually when I did this step. Okay, that is going to be your actual result. Status is if these both are matching, it is going to be passed. If these both are not matching, it is going to be failed. Okay, so and we have our if it is failed, we need to create a bug and we'll be giving our bug number over here. Wait, I'll create one and show you. Okay, so now these are going to be your contents of your test case. Okay, are you people clear on each field what it is? You need to understand this to write your test case. Yeah, test data is, see here you'll be for achieving this you'll be writing few steps, right? So for each step, if you have a test data, see enter a username is going to be your step. Okay, what is that username? That is called as test data. Okay, you need to give this test data to test it on the application. Is it clear? Sorry, you didn't understand? Okay, see now so this is imagine this is your application. Okay, and you are going to search for an item on Amazon. Okay, so now your step will be enter a product on the search field. Okay, so what product you are going to enter? That is going to be a test data. What you can enter mobile or anything, right? So here you will write mobile. So this is going to be a test. What value are entering you are planning to enter on the field to test this application is going to be a test data. Okay. Anybody else having any doubt? Okay, now. Okay, I'll close this. Okay, so these are going to be your test case content. Okay, so now I have a feature for you people to understand. I am going to write the test scenario and test case for this. You can just observe, okay, and I'll give you an exercise for today. You can just write and share me, okay. So feature is going to be a lecturer should log in. This is going to be a what to say a college application or something like that. Okay, so a lecturer should log in and create questions and set levels for students. Okay, so this is an or from this you are able to understand this is going to be a online examination for a college. Okay, so here we have a lecturer role. He should be able to log in and create questions and he should set levels for the students. Okay, a student, as a student, what he should be able to do? He should be able to log in and take up exam which will be validated by the lecturer and process the result. Okay, and student should be able to view the result. Lecturer and a student should log out. So this is going to be a complete feature. So now we'll see how the use case for this will be written. Okay, so this is going to be your use case. So you are having two actors, lecturer and student. Okay, so what are the actions of the lecturer? Login, he can input question, he can set levels, and he can process the result, and he can log out. Okay, same way, what are the students' action? Log in, he can take up the exam, he can view the result, and he can log out. So, how he can take up the exam? From the input question and from the setting level. These two are dependent on this action. Okay, and result, who will be processing? Only after the lecturer process the result, he'll be able to see the result. Student will be able to see the result. So, is this use case clear? Please ignore these two. Okay, for now these two, are you people clear on this? How we have written a use case from this one? Yes. Okay, so now see the test scenarios. These are going to be your test scenarios. Okay, see, test scenarios, one is going to be for student, and we are going to have a set for student, sorry, lecturer, and one set for student. So for this lecturer, what are the scenarios going to be? He should be able to log into the application, he should be able to create questions and set level, he should be able to validate the answers and process the result, and lecturer should be able to log out of the application. So these are going to be the lecturer scenario. Okay, now for student, students should be able to log into the application, student should be able to take up the exam, student should be able to view the result, and student should be able to log out of the application. So these are going to be the test scenarios. Did you people understand what a test scenario is now from this? So we are having two different modules. One is lecturer, one is student, and lecturer scenarios are this, and student scenarios are this. Are you clear? Okay, fine. So your exercise again is going to be this only. You people are going to write test cases for student scenario. Okay, student module. So now you just concentrate how I'm writing test case for what is this lecturer module. Okay. So one second, I think I can create a new one because other sheets might confuse you. How to delete? Okay, so now what is going to be? Where's the project name now? Project name. Okay, so project name is going to be your online examination. Okay, so your module name. I want you people also to answer over here. Okay, so that if you then only you'll be able to understand what is the module name going to be. Yes, lecturer. Okay, and your requirement ID, usually you will be having your epic or epic number, right? That epic number will be your requirement ID. So I can have it as epic 001. Okay, author. So now I am going to write it. So I am going to be the author. So I need someone from my team to review it. Okay, so I'll have Pratibha. So she's going to be a review in the sense she'll go through my test case, and if I have missed out anything or if I have put any feature wrong, she'll be letting me know the comments, and based on that I will again update it. Okay, so review date and execution date will be given only when Pratibha reviews it, she'll give this date, and when I execute this test case, I'll be giving the execution date. So this will be left empty or put it as not applicable as of now. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now test case ID. So for my test case ID will be test case underscore 001 or test case lecturer underscore 001. It can be any way. Okay. And now the description. So now here comes your scenario. So your first scenario is lecturer should be able to log into application, right? So we have to write verify that lecturer, yeah, is able to log into the application. Okay. So this is how your description will be. So now precondition, what is going to be the precondition? So for the lecturer to be to log into your application and to perform the steps, he should be already registered with the online examination, right? With the application, right? So your precondition will be lecturer should be registered to the application. Okay, now you understood what a precondition is. Any questions from anyone? Yeah. No, no, no. Your action itself is going is for. Sorry, sorry, I didn't understand. Here, yeah, sign in and login is same, right? Okay, okay, that's what he should be registered. That's what I'm putting here. Okay, yeah, yeah, I understood. Yeah, anything is fine. Okay. So now, what are the steps for this description for this scenario? Step one is going to be um, first open the application URL. Okay, maybe like so now the test data will be what URL you are going to open. Here in steps we are just given open the application URL, right? So we are going to give what URL. In- So the test data will be it will be www dot online exam dot com. Okay, so this is going to be your test data. Now you understand. Someone asked me what a test data is, right? Do you understand now? So while executing this test case, I will directly go and open this URL for this step. Okay. And your expected result should be application should be launched. Fine. So this is your expected result. Now your actual result, status and bug should be returned only after during your execution of this test case. Okay, so now I have opened the URL. Next, what I'm going to do, enter a valid user ID or valid lecturer ID. Always your one second. Always your test case should have a positive condition and also a negative condition. Okay, so now I'll update this description according to a positive. Okay, verify lecturer is able to log into the application for a valid username and password. Now you understood? So here our steps will change accordingly. Enter a valid lecturer username. So here your test data will be maybe we can have Bhagya as a lecturer. Okay, Bhagya underscore 001 is going to be the lecturer ID. Okay, now after launching this, I'm going to enter this value in my username field. Okay, and now what is going to be your expected lecturer ID should be entered and displayed. Okay, username in the u in the user ID field. Okay, fine. Now, any questions here? Now, after this, what I'm going to do? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, exactly. Now enter a valid password in the password field. Okay. You can say it as password 001 is going to be a password. Now here what I'm going to write is password should be displayed as a masked value, right? Our password will always be masked and displayed, right? It will not be displayed as a value. So you should write this. Okay, so this is your expected result of your password field. Next, what we are going to do is click on login button. So here no test data, right? Because this is just going to be a click action. So now I'll ignore it, and here in expected result, what is going to be your expected now? Lect yeah, lecturer should be logged in to the application. Understood now how the test case will be and how what is the difference between a test scenario. So here your test scenario is just lecturer should be able to log into your application, but here you have these many steps to achieve that, and you also have test data also. Okay, so this is going to be a positive test case of your scenario. Now I'll write a negative test case also. Okay, because every time testing is about that only, right? So you're going to test in a negative flow also and ensure application is responding properly. Okay, so now verify that what should be is verify that lecturer is not able to, okay, not able to log into the application for a invalid username and password. So that is going to be your negative scenario. So here also this is not required. Okay, lecturer should maybe this is not required because we are just going to go use an invalid user ID and password, right? So open the application URL. This is going to be the same. Enter an invalid lecturer username in the user ID field. Maybe here you can give invalid 001. Okay, now here what you should do is the expected here in the field level is going to be the same, right? Because lecturer ID should be entered and displayed on the field, so that is going to be the same, so no changes here. Similarly, enter an invalid password in the password field. This is also going to be the same. Okay, click on the login button. So here only we are going to see the difference. So once you click with the login invalid and password, what should be your expected is error message. Yeah, error message should be displayed. Yeah, and lecturer should not be allowed to log into application. Okay, now understood what is the difference? Yes, how what is the test case? How we write a test case and all? Any questions from anyone? Yeah, yeah, that is going to be your next test case again. That is negative. Yeah, so here what you're going to verify is verify if error message is displayed. Once again, call வருதுப்பா பாப்பா இது அப்பாட்ட கொடு டக்குன்னு எடுத்துட்டு போ. So verify if error message is displayed when we click on when sorry when user the test case should be always on your user perspective. Okay, on login button without entering user ID and password. Okay, so this is going to be your next, what to say, a test case or next scenario. These are going to be your scenarios. Okay, so here you can even this scenario you can split up into multiple scenarios with valid login id and password, invalid login id and password, and no user id password. Okay, so this is going to be a third test case. So open the application. These two can be just left out, okay, because we are not going to write anything. Just click on login button. So error message should be displayed. uh, Display requesting user to enter user id and password. Okay, fine, right? Now you understood. So now you can write next test case again, next test case again. It will go on like that. Okay. So now for the next scenario, lecturer should be able to create a question and set level. So now your test case is going to be, yeah, yeah, yes, you can. You can write valid user id and with a combination of valid user id and invalid password, invalid user id and valid password. What all scenarios you can think, you in a negative way you have to think, and you can write test cases for them. No, 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 no. How much ever you are able to split up, that much, what to say, strong your test case will be, and your execution will be testing your application in a very better way. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, yes, yes. Depends on how you think. So now here, lecturer should be able to create questions, okay, and set levels. So let us leave set levels because it is going to be a different scenario. Now he should be able to create question. So verify if lecturer is able to create questions on the application. Okay, this is going to be. So your precondition should be, sorry, lecturer should be logged in to the application. Okay. So if he's only, if he's logged in only, I'll be able to create it. Okay. We might be having few steps for creation. Okay. Navigate to question section. Okay. And here your expected result will be question section should be displayed for lecturer. Okay. And next is going to be create questions. Questions should be, oh, sorry, should be created. So here, question sample you can give. A, B, C is going to be my first question. So in this way, you can give multiple test data also. Okay, BDE is going to be next question. What are all the questions you're going to create? You can give here. Usually, it is going to be a form, right? So in that form, we'll be inputting the values. So that way also you can create. I don't have an actual vision of how the application will be. So I'm just giving a example. Okay, and next, publish the questions. Okay, yeah. It's not required, right? Because I'm just going to click on a tab or a link and I'm going to go to a question section on my application. It's going to be a click action only. Okay. Here, as we are going to click on the login button, it is the same. Just for wherever we are going to input any value on the application, for that alone, we have to give our what to say, test data. For this publishing also, we will not be requiring test data. Is it clear? Yes. See, how can I explain you is, maybe like, uh, navigate to cell. How you are going to navigate to cell section? Only by clicking, right? So here you need not provide any test data. Now click on start selling. This is also just an action. Okay. But here you are going to input something, right? So this input sections alone, you should provide your test data. Okay. Okay. Now you're publishing the question. So here also you need not do any action. What is going to be your result is created questionnaire should be available on the question paper section. Okay, so that much only. Okay, so this is going to be your create question, what to say, test case. So are you people clear on how we write a test case? Now while executing, what I will do is, first I will open this application. Okay, yeah, for this one, that depends. Okay, maybe like, in your question form you will be having one what to say, one text box which should accept only 10 values, sorry, 10 characters or 100 characters. So there and all you can perform your negative testing. That's what I don't know exactly how the application will be, right? So I have written a high level test case only. You can still break down this test case into multiple things. If you're into the application, you'll get a clear idea. So as of now, you basic thing alone, you get an idea. Okay, so how we write a test case, how will it be, and all. So any questions from anyone for test case? Okay. So what you're going to do is, so you have your what to say, I have sent you a laboratory example, right? Last week, laboratory application example. So what you people do today is, you draw a use case for that. You can just write it on your notebook also, or if you are comfortable, you can use your system also. You draw a use case, you split up the test scenarios and write any two test cases in this way, and you share me. Okay, you can share me on WhatsApp. So you do that, I'll review it and I'll send you the feedback. Okay.